So one after the other. Because of the easy. So we're all one.
Yes. Oh.
What is his offense according to the law?
There is no offense. How do you... Let me look here. Madam, these people are simply saying Biafra, Nigeria, is no more. And they have a right in Europe to say so. Two, Nigerian system itself has said they don't... you know, the court relied on intelligence from Nigeria. Asanda, which Nigerian intelligence can give you the credibility? It's corrupt, underfunded, compromised by terrorists. They have recruited terrorists in intelligence system. So the information, Finland collapsed in its all democratic format. When it said it relied on Nigeria's intelligence information. Anybody can come up and say, Asanda is doing this, that. Do you go and use that intelligence? Finland is one country that is now changing from proper democratic institutions to being corruptly entering Africa by paying huge sums to get contracts. Finland has been given contracts with Nigeria. Nigeria has given them to build dams, gas pipelines, and so many dispensaries. They are corrupt. They just wanted to get this guy to appease Nigerian government. If you look at the evidence, I've read the entire evidence of how the three judges came to a conclusion. I bet if it was in South African court, it would be thrown out on the first day. There is no judgment where you say you use the intelligence, Nigerian intelligence, when Nigeria itself has terrorists, part of the intelligence system in Nigeria. They are terrorists, and they have admitted. And they have admitted they have recruited some. So which intelligence information did they use? I'm telling you, that sentence is going to be quashed by the European Court of Human Rights in Strasbourg. It will be quashed. That guy will walk out free.
So what now then for Simon Ekpa, this Finnish citizen of Nigerian descent? Must he go the human rights route, as you say?
I want to tell you, originally these people wanted to kidnap this man quietly at night. Thanks God. People started going to European court somewhere, and volunteers stopped it and told Finland that you are in trouble. We know what you are doing. They wanted to take him to without even going through the court. This man is a Finnish citizen. He has been in Finland for over 30 years. Where do you take him? What has he done? He's simply saying Nigeria needs to be rearranged. All of us in Africa know that Nigeria has collapsed. All of us in Africa know there is no administration in Nigeria. All of us know that Nigeria is a country without a country and a state without a state. Governance has collapsed. And these people are simply saying, can we rearrange Nigeria and go away? It's like what I have told you about Congo. Biafrans are over 80 million people out of 250. But there are people killing people there. There are terrorists coming down daytime and they take over your house, take over your farm, feed on your food, kill your people. They are there. It is happening. And African Union has not said any word. United Nations Security Council has not said any word. United Nations habitually sentenced Nigeria to a country which has abducted people, killed people, and If you have such reports, how can you sentence a man for 6 years when you know that the state you are dealing with is a rogue state?
Let's go to Burkina Faso now. The government there has passed a law banning homosexuality. What kind of sentences will those who are found guilty face?
You know, that is something in Africa. We took interest on the international scene, in this case of Finland versus Mr. Simon Ekpa. Because I wanted to tell the world how things have and how things work in Africa. As a technical person behind the international scene, behind the scene, technically, I'm in Helsinki here today. I've informed the Ministry of Foreign Affairs that I am around. I've written my letters, I've campaigned, I've told them I've already gone to the European Court of Human Rights, shouted, and told the people that these people were they connived, they wanted to connive to take our brother, Mr. Simon Ekpa, quietly out of this country. That's why you saw some time back, the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs came here several times with the Minister of Internal Affairs, with a jet ready. And you see, one of the things of the European democracies, a country like Finland will not stop you as a peacemaker. I'm a peacemaker and an international legal expert on matters of this nature. Finland was one of the countries that started mediation around the world. I don't know why Finland got into a trap of a country, a bankrupt state, a state where the Attorney General Malami was part of the terrorist ring of Boko Haram that actually implicated people. Why I'm at the same time smiling is when I look, we don't want to go into the details of the security details, classified information that I know should not be given to the public. But this case, looking at the top layer of it, is hollow, is shallow, is very, very shallow, narrow in analysis, narrow in, shallow in intelligence gathering, fake people, fake everything. And I think the next stage I'm going to take from this angle is the stage of taking another leap across into the International Criminal Court.
Russia, US, Israel, and United Nations are attacking the Finnish government over supporting Nigeria just to jail Simon Ekpa. They said enough is enough, that the Finnish government should do the needful by releasing Simon Ekpa. We've seen protests all over in Russia, in US, as regards Simon Ekpa freedom today, and also are in complete shock as regards the massive support Simon Ekpa is getting as regards his freedom. Do you back Russia, UN, US, and the United Nations over Simon Ekpa current ordeal?
In the first place now, how did Finland got their freedom? Finland got their freedom via Russia support. That's how Finland was able to become a nation today. With a nation of less than maybe 5-6 million people, but Biafra is over 85 million people. But so what they are saying is this very clearly, is that we gave you freedom. Then how come you are now against another person who is fighting for freedom at the end of the day. So you see, they are looking at, what the people who are controlling Asorok as at this moment, who are bent on, carrying out attacks on Biafra land. If you look at Sheikh Gumi very clearly, you understand that, there was a time he advised the federal government to use Igbos to fight Igbos, to use, government, to harm them, to fight Igbos. And I think the federal government were able to take that part, by, you can see the amount of people they are raising, in Igbo land now. I don't think we had these people, how these people begin to attack the struggle at the end of the day. This we are the advice of Sheikh Gumi, against the Biafra people, advising federal government that the only way you can attack the Biafra struggle is to use Biafrans against Biafra. And you can see a number of them, like a lot of Igbos knows them, can identify them by the way they talk, by the way they speak, including governors, like Soludo and the rest of them, who has become the rallying point of all these elements attacking the Biafran struggle at the end of the day. But the fact still remains that at this point in time, the Russian and of course the United States of America, because that there's a protest going on in America currently now over simonekpa, and they make it very clearly, they might have their differences, but not where they feel that their interests will be protected at the end of the day. Vladimir Putin said it very clearly, and he's not hiding it. So if you look at where Russia starts making some certain level of interventions on issues like that, it means that they are sending a very strong signal that simonekpa must not die in Finland. And that's the position of the United States of America. And whatever resolution, whatever that have led them to conclude on that over simonekpa, of course, we know that it's a signal that even if the Nigerian government want them to do otherwise, but because of these interventions, from maybe powerful nations, on the matter, they'll be able to, withdraw whatever, dangerous plan they have against simonekpa. Because what Nigeria are looking for is that how to thoroughly silence simonekpa so that they can continue with their criminality, with their killings, with their unknown government in Biafra land, disguising them, labeling them, IPOB. But I thank God that, at this point in time, the Biafra government in exile is seriously active. And of course, the IPOB DOS are seriously active. So at every point, every move they make at this point in time, I tell you, they will totally be exposed. But the United States government, Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin issues a final warning to Asorok and telling Asorok that simonekpa must not be killed in Finland.
But we've not seen the world leaders, the UN, the US, even international organization, Canada, they've come out to attest to what simonekpa was doing, that he was doing the right thing by by fighting for, the freedom and fighting for his people as against the Fulani terrorists invading the southeastern part of Nigeria. With that being said now, do you think that Finland betrayed simonekpa with what they've currently done to simonekpa? Do you think the simonekpa was betrayed by the Finnish government?
Of course, if simonekpa is not betrayed, how come the other refugees that flee to Finland are being kept safe today? And I remember one of the people there too. A lot of them, I can remember how Finland was able to get their freedom and the role some people played, most of them on getting to that level from different countries, because they felt that Finland is a nation, but simonekpa has exposed Finland, and they are not what people should think they are now. They do not respect, just like Germany. If in Germany today, Germany would not partake in anything like this. It cannot happen in Germany. But because of the corruption, the corrupt system that was thrown to Alexander Stubb, that means Alexander Stubb compromised the image, our perception, the way people will see Finland. And this was not the Finland that supported Biafra during the Nigeria-Biafra war, supported free education, gave massive support through Red Cross to dying Biafran children during the starvation policy enacted by Bafemi Awolowo, Yoruba man. But you can see that now the Nigeria knows how to bribe their way. How much they deposited in the United States of America? $9 million just to stop Biafra struggle in the United States of America. Imagine what would have, those ones were what the US government actually exposed. Imagine what they would have given to, Alexander Stubb, the Finland prime minister or president, whatever they call that man, to be able to, quickly, sentence Simonekpa to 6 years imprisonment. So it is very clear that, a bogus amount of money and other oil deals and others have been entered before Finland was able to do that. So that's why it baffles the whole world. How come under Alex Stubb that this thing actually happened? And remember, the same Finland we are talking about today is having problem now with Russia, over a bilateral relationship and trade and commerce, treaties entered, and Russia is beginning to withdraw. And that's why they told you that the economy of Finland is gradually going down on daily basis. But there's no need of hiding it. They have come out publicly to tell the Finnish government that there will be consequences because they have seen it very clear. They are acting not on their own but under the influence of the corruption. That's why Nigeria has never moved forward, because it looks like Finland themselves has contaminated the Nigerian virus, and that is why you see they have become a rallying point all over the world. This is a country that people barely know them in terms of what Europe is today. But look at today, people are seeing Finland as a corrupt, one of the most corrupt European country in the world, and it is not a good image, and that is what the Russian government is talking about. You are playing with fire. You are romancing Nigerian government that are killing this man's people, and he rose in defense, and you manipulated their way and got Finland government, his own political party, to sentence him, without any concrete evidence. Well, some Finnish officials are saying that that judgment was actually done in error. We don't know how that is going to play out at the end of the day.
But likes of Ngozi and Rebels have come and said that Finland has blood in their hand for betraying Simonekpa and making sure that a lot of Biafrans, over 3,000, have been pied since when Ekpa was arrested in November 2024. He said a lot of, and Ekpa was betrayed because Finland themselves approved that what gave visas and immigration passes to Biafrans approved by Simonekpa coming to Finland for the Biafra redeclaration, and then turn around to arrest Ekpa and 4 others innocent Biafran before the Biafran Convention and Declaration. Do you think that just like what you said earlier, do you think that the ICC and the appeal judge should look into this? Because Finland themselves finally they accepted, agreed when Ekpa went to submit letter of intent to Alex Stubb and the Finnish government. Do you think that the Finnish judge should look into this?
That's another technical point of view. In reference to Simonekpa's case, and this is a government that accepted the redeclaration of Biafra to take place in Finland, and passport and visas were extended to followers around the world over their presence or redeclaring Biafra in Finland, and the Finnish government were all aware. So what actually went wrong? I think at that point, they have not been able to arrive at a particular deal, or later the Finnish government or Alex Stubb actually changed his mind, and when he was offered something that he could not reject. And that is where the problem is at this point in time. Like I mentioned earlier, more people have been killed after, and then people are still dying in Biafra land. Even why so what are they going to use now? Are they going to still blame Simonekpa for over 5,000 Biafrans that have died ever since they put simonekpa in custody, and that's the question the EU lawyers and the EU delegates are asking a Finnish government, which they cannot be able to define. But what they came up with, where we are hearing from some of the officials, is that judgment was actually done in error, or was, the process was actually compromised with a huge amount of money or deal that were entered by the Nigerian ambassador to Nigeria, that has Bianca Ojukwu also on the table.
But David Masanga is saying, I've arrived Finland for simonekpa's freedom. He said he will do everything it takes, rallying on people that support freedom in Africa and all over the world, that they are here for simonekpa freedom. Panicking also in Finland, because don't forget that other 27 EU lawyers are currently waiting for this trial to begin come 5th of July. Of August rather. What do you think will be the outcome tomorrow? Masanga say is ready for this court case.
I think he's mobilizing from the side of Pan-African Institute. Well, Biafrans are watching and waiting and seeing the impact of Dr. Masanga in that regard. And I hope he has proved a point both to UK government, both to Finnish government, and both to United Nations, of course, over the Biafran quest. But let us see how he's going to navigate. It's a very influential figure, and he has a way of navigating. Remember, he told the whole world that Nigeria will collapse under his watch, and when Nigeria collapses, they will pay billions of pounds and dollars to Biafrans as compensation. Well, he has stated it, and he made it very clear under Pan-African Institute, which he leads, which also provides legal services all over the world. This is not the first time Dr. Masanga is involved in matters like this, but I can tell you, he's telling very clearly that simonekpa's case is significant to him, to Africa, and of course to the liberation of Africa and of course the world, and that he needed to teach Nigeria and Cameroon a lesson. That's what that has always been his position, and he supports the recognition of Biafra by any sovereign nation around the world, and of course the freedom of simonekpa and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to continue the agitation, the struggle for the recognition of Biafra. We are not talking about Biafra anymore. We are seeking solidarity around the world for people to see, look at our plight and solidarity and recognize Biafra as a sovereign nation. Outside that, Biafra is gaining international attention. You can see the number of groups, that are already protesting on ground in Finland today for simonekpa. So it tells you a lot about the impact Biafra is making globally, and why people has come to accept that it is time for the global communities and sovereign nations around the world to pledge their support and recognition for Biafra.